Well, hello, shell buddies, and welcome back to the ESH-Way BEEZ-You channel. Today we've got an update for you on the renourishing projects in Pinellas County. Not only pass-a-grille, but the rest as well. Millions of dollars spent, millions more to go, homeowners who won't sign release forms, an Army Corps who won't do any work unless they sign release forms, and a potentially dangerous hurricane season. What's going to happen in Pinellas County? First, the good news. Project over at pass-a-grille on Phase 1 is moving along beautifully. Things are going and the sand is flowing. Pass-a-grille, however, is not the only place that needs renourishment. Let's go take a look at pass-a-grille's renourishing project, how the dredge is going, what the beach looks like, and then we'll get into this issue about the rest of the beaches in just a moment. The dredge is running. We're going to hopefully get to see some stuff in action. So, this little access point and this little access point are now blocked. I'm not supposed to go over here now, but from my van I can see the sand pumping. I can see it. It's actually just above my finger right there. Looks like there's a geyser of water over there. Looks like quite a significant pile of stuff's been moved so far too. This is where I came on last time. Now it's blocked too. But there's another set further up, I think. I mean, from where we're standing, I can barely see it. Alright, we'll get to this next one. If this one's blocked too, then we'll move and then we'll hit the dog beach.
They just kept walking.
Well, crud. Well, this vantage point from the van is about as good as it's going to get, I guess. All the beach accesses over here where they're working are all blocked off, and sand has been pushed all the way to the one I got on the beach with last time. Because people are coming with their boats to check it out and see what's going on from this angle over here on the water. Now, GoPros don't really zoom in, but I can zoom in once I go edit this, so be able to get a little closer look at it.
I see shells flying out.
I see something flying out of there. I don't know if it's shells, coral, or what it is. Alright, now we're like directly across from where it's running. And John's standing on that bench over there to get a better vantage point than we have here at the van. Oh yeah, there's stuff tumbling around in there for sure. I mean, it could be all quahogs for all I know, but you see him gurgling out of there. Well, looks like they're going pretty full on around here. Of course, with all the access points blocked, the only place we can see it is from the street. I'm in the doorway of my van, and John's here on the bench. We can't really get any closer to it than this, so. Cool to finally see it running. Okay, we are on the dog beach side. There's the other bit of equipment. You can see again one of those yellow oil drum looking markers Lots of seagrass pushed up, as happens when we have an east wind, which we've been having an east wind for days now. And I think we have rain on the way. So this might be a short trip, I don't know. We weren't expecting rain really, but I see the back of a really pretty scallop. What do we got here? Ooh, cutie pie. Pretty pink color. And yep, that oystery stuff, that'll just come right off. Nice. Lots of smashed pen shells and big cockles.
You want to see something wild? To anybody else walking up, they would think that's part of a meg tooth.
Oh jeez, it's a piece of wood.
I know.
It's off of a palm tree.
I know. But doesn't it look like a piece of meg?
I bet from the sand it looks like a fraglodon. What's this? Piece of a whelk. So yeah, this, look how high up the rack got up here, babe.
I know.
All back into this now. Yeah, that good old east wind. Well, I gotta give my new shoes a whirl and see how they do with the water.
I know. We gotta go down.
Get around some of this grass first. Gosh, it's like a foot deep. This is nuts.
There's nothing on that side.
It's just piling up and piling up. The shells are getting past it anyway. Getting washed over at high tide. But a lot of those. A lot of crossbarred Venuses too, and jingles. Little cut and transverse arcs. Smashed up beach bowls too.
Does she like to run around people?
She can come over, it's alright. You're so pretty. What's your name, puppy?
Coffee in Spanish is cafecita.
Capacita.
Or coffee, and we just tell people call her coffee.
Hi, Coffee.
It's pretty.
Yeah, she's a very pretty dog. If you have a bowl, she'll fetch it.
I just want to go play.
Yeah. Here, at the desk,
Ooh.
throw a ball if you want. Here you go. You can throw as far as you can, she'll catch it.
I want to get her out in weird currents.
Yeah, I know, I'm only taking her out here.
Yeah.
Hi, sweetheart. Aren't you cute? Oh, that's a heartbreaker. That is a piece of a true tulip. Look at the orange on it. The wind just took it out of my hand. There's some pieces of worm snail in here. Lots of common stuff. Little baby cockles. Oh, wow. That's a Morton's egg. Wow. Alright, I can't just place it in my hand. I have to hold it with my fingers because the wind will take it. And that's a Morton's egg cockle. That's a nice find. Not a typical find for here either. So that's fun. Those are really nice, actually. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Cool. Sometimes with this east wind, we get some interesting stuff over here on this side. Is that an operculum?
Yep.
Oh, a piece of a pen shell.
Looks like an operculum.
Looks like operculum. That was wild.
I know.
A lot of pen shell today.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, but then we get here to the end, and then the grass kind of slows down a little, and I'm kind of checking the water over here. I mean, I remember this thing being at our heads for come shell with me, and now it's like at my elbow. Wow. Now, to give you a better idea of what kind of sand transport that we've had going on here at the lower end of Pass-a-Grille, I went back through some of my footage and found stuff from Winter Storm whatchamacallit, because it didn't get a name, but boy, it sure ripped things up. I think that one was November, December time frame. So we're talking in the course of 6 months how much sand has built up here at the bottom behind Islands End Resort. Take a look. So here we have right now on the left-hand side, and you can take a look and see over on the right-hand side, this is what it used to look like. We had quite a few feet under there before that dock got fixed. Now this was after Winter Storm whatchamacallit, which was, I think, December time frame. So we're talking about 5-6 months ago, and we've had an incredible amount of sand transport. You can see there's feet, like literally feet underneath that dock. And we have maybe like 2 feet under it now. We used to be able to walk right under there, no problem. Now this is a screenshot from the Come Shell With Me event that I had last summer at the beginning of August, I think. It was the first one that we did when we went out to pass-a-grille after hitting Fort DeSoto. I just want you to see how much lower the sand here is. Look at where the rock wall. If you were standing by that rock wall over there, it was at or above your head. And the same is true for that dock. So the level of sand at the bottom of pass-a-grille has actually come up maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2. It's significant. The pier on the end, we used to be able to walk under it without ducking. Now you can't walk under it at all. It's only about 1.5 feet of space. A lot of sand has built up here. Good chance of it. Some of it's from the Gulf side, where it's been missing. Alright, I got new shoes. Let's give them a try. I want to see how much junk gets in them, or doesn't. Alright, a little bit. Not terrible. Not too bad with the shoes just yet. Gosh, look at all the sand over all of this seaweed. Holy smokes. And I mean, we used to walk underneath that. Like, walk right under it. So, yeah. Dolphins! Right by us, right here. Oh my gosh, there's 4 of them. Right there by us. They're close, they're just where the water is like getting dark, like a greenish color. Right there. Oh my. I think we might be done. I have to start thinking about heading back to the car already. Darn it. Totally didn't expect that today. Thought we'd have a nice afternoon. But it's that time of year. Ah, they moved up. Right there. Ah, oh, that was so cool. Watch the water, guys. There's 4 dolphins out there.
I love your earrings.
Oh, thanks. I found one of them up here.
Are you good?
Yeah. There.
Here.
And there. Oh my. Oh. Alright, I gotta see where John is. We gotta get out of here. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the water down here. I don't know if any of it's any good. Woohoo! But I'd like to see. Oh, I just saw a fighting conch. Where'd it go? There it goes. Ow! Jeez. Okay, that's enough of that. just that fast. The weather can change on you in Florida. Yep, I'm heading back to the van.
Oh,
I really would have liked to have shelled a little longer, but that's pretty ominous over there. Oh, that is a big old one.
now you want to see the crime shame of the day?
Sure.
That was beautiful.
Yes, it was. Good heavens, it's getting dark fast. Wow.
Paradise Grill either.
Bye, sunshine. We gotta go. Look at the sand coming off of this place. Oh, that stings. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It stings. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. Woo.
Boy, look at the water now.
Oh my. It's raining north of us for sure. I was gonna suggest maybe trying out Sunset Beach, but not in this. Well, it's raining again. That was a long drive for 20 minutes on the beach. So our shelling got a little cut short by the weather. That's alright, it gives me a little bit of time actually to dig into the other topic that we were talking about. And that's the dredging projects and renourishment for other places besides just here at Pass-a-Grille. Now, as I was saying, Pass-a-Grille, however, is not the only place that needs renourishment. Sunset Beach, Treasure Island, Reddington Shores, I think Indian Rocks was missing a little sand too. So there is damage all along the coastline in Pinellas County, and it's been a very expensive prospect to get this fixed. Now, I've talked about Pass-a-Grille and Sunset Beach quite a bit, but they weren't the only places that got fixed. There was also Bel Air Beach, Indian Rocks, Indian Shores, Madeira Beach, and Upham Beach, as well as Pass-a-Grille and Sunset. All of this cost Pinellas County nearly $30 million, trucking in sand, footing the bill for this by themselves without any assistance from the Army Corps of Engineers, who was holding up $42 million worth of dredging, renourishment, assistance, and work for easements. Easements are the reason that the Army Corps of Engineers will not come and help get this fixed, so Pinellas had to eat it. At least the state of Florida is setting aside some money for this, but ouch, this gets to be expensive after a while. And guess who pays for that? Well, unfortunately, the taxpayers do. So how come Phase 2 hasn't been approved yet? Ooh, that's a sticky situation.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
It seems like we have a whole lot of misunderstanding on a lot of sides of this issue, and it's to the detriment of everyone if they can't get it worked out. So let's dive into this. First of all, in the state of Florida, in our Constitution, Article 10, Section 11. In Florida, Article 10, Section 11 codifies in the Constitution that the public has the right to access all beaches seaward of the mean high tide line. What does that mean? It means from where the high water mark is to the ocean is public access. It means here in the state of Florida, when you see something that says private beach, that's no go. You can't do that. And a number of places have been warned and told that they couldn't do that. You can't have the sand getting wet and call it a private beach. Above the mean high tide line, past up where the storm rack is, yeah, sure, that's private property. But if it's getting wet, it's public. So if this is what the case is in the state of Florida, then why are we having such a hard time getting folks to understand about how these easements work? If it's public land already, then why is the easement required? If the easement's required, then why have they fixed it in the past and won't do it now? It's a very, very confusing situation. Now, for the homeowners part, I can understand not wanting to grant in perpetuity access to the federal government, but that's not what this is. You're giving that access to the county so that further repairs, if needed, can be made. And it shouldn't matter whether you're the homeowner or the next guy is the homeowner. The only difference that matters is where is that water line occurring? Where is that mean high tide mark? It might be, last year it was 150 feet away from your back door, and after Idalia, it's 60. Do you think resisting for a while on contract wording and terminology is going to work to your favor here? Because after the storm season we just had this winter, I don't think I'd want to take that gamble. The Army Corps of Engineers put together a sheet of FAQ questions for homeowners regarding this easement topic, just to explain a few things so that there wouldn't be all this confusion. The document that I found was from 2017, and just to take a quick look at it here and tell you what it says. The required easement is a perpetual storm damage reduction easement, and it's going to establish something called an ECL, which is an erosion control line. Now, that erosion control line, anything from there to the ocean is public. Above that erosion control line, your property is still your sovereign property. It doesn't mean people can go traipsing across your house's property to get to the beach, but they can walk up the beach, along the beach where it's wet. So it's not like you're giving your property over to the federal government or the Army Corps of Engineers. As a matter of fact, the easement is for the county and for the state. They are called the local sponsor in this arrangement. And if the easements are not signed, the local sponsor could choose to, 1, ask the federal government to skip or not fill the section of the beach for the person who's not going to sign. 2, condemn by eminent domain. 3, absorb the additional costs locally. Or 4, assess the applicable property owner for the amount not funded by the federal government. Ow, that would be painful, considering we know that this is $42 million worth of assistance that we're holding out on here. Boy, if the county wanted to get mean, I guess they could ask the homeowners to pay for it. Or they could condemn those stretches of property and establish the ECL and redraw everybody's property lines. So you can see why this is such a tricky situation and why there is so much tension and nothing's moving ahead and nothing's moving forward. Because there's some pretty strict language in here. I can understand it from both sides, but in the meantime, the rest of the residents whose properties are not on this beach, they're still paying taxes and they still like to use this beach too. And when it's damaged and it can't be repaired, no one can use it. And it's in public trust for everyone to be able to use it. So we have a big disconnect here. We have folks that think this means one thing when it really means something else. We have the Army Corps of Engineers acting as if there was a disconnect as well. In the past, not requiring 100% signatures on these things, but now requiring it. Many homeowners have said if the wording on this was changed, said it wasn't in perpetuity, then they would probably be okay with it. It's the in perpetuity clause that seems to be hanging a lot of people up. Now, for the county's part on this, they've already approved another $5 million for this renourishment issue for Pinellas County. But without the Army Corps of Engineers' help on this, I'm not sure if one county alone can bear the brunt of the cost of this. Now, the state of Florida has gone ahead and approved $50 million for beach issues and renourishments, but it's not Pinellas County's money, it's the whole state, it's everybody that has an issue. So, that's where things are standing right now. Without easement signatures, the Army Corps is not going to come help. That's holding up $42 million worth of dredge project assistance for the county. That $42 million is going to have to come from somewhere if that stuff's going to get repaired. What happens if it doesn't get repaired? Well, take a look at Sunset Beach and how close the water actually got to the parking lot. Not only do they risk losing their beach pavilions and their bathrooms and their parking lot, but the road itself is at risk. What's buried under that road? Well, your water delivery lines, electricity, telecommunications, stormwater runoff management systems. What's the solution? Everybody's got to be able to sit down at the table and talk about this in a calm, rational manner. The Army Corps of Engineers could be a little more flexible on not only this requirement, but the language used for this. The homeowners could be a little more flexible too, understanding that holding up and digging heels in on your stretch of the beach is putting the guy 12 houses up at risk from completely losing his place. With all of this happening, with all of this disconnect and this misunderstanding, arbitration really seems like the only real solution here. But in the meantime, the clock's ticking. We're right around the corner from what they're saying is going to be one of our really bad hurricane seasons. I'm going to let you draw your own conclusions, but if you are interested and you are a Florida resident and you do want to get involved and you do live in the Pinellas County region, I would suggest contacting not only your county commissioners, but your state representatives as well, because we have to find a way to get this moved along. Well, thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into a very sticky situation and a troubling topic for this area of Florida. I'll keep you apprised of whatever I find out in the meantime and whatever happens as far as changes or new additions to what's going to happen with this particular project in Pinellas and when some of the others may start. Now, in the meantime, of course, there's still plenty of beach to explore, plenty of beach to enjoy, and plenty of shells to be found. So as you're keeping tabs on this story, just remember that we're talking about small areas of a very vast beach system. And just know that there's lots of room for you to get out there and go shelling.